Hi there, welcome to the first episode of You Asked, We Answered, a new series from CyberFortress where we'll be discussing Veeam and disaster recovery questions that you've sent to us. For the first episode, we're going to discuss some commonly forgotten best practices to use with Veeam. The first being putting your components in their own separate domain or workgroup and on a separate network, VLAN, etc. This is crucial for environments because if your production environment is ever penetrated, you want to make sure that your Veeam stays online. Even if you have an offsite backup, you ideally want to have your on-premises components still up and communicating and accessible because it would be better to recover on premises before you have to recover from your offsite backups. Now, this can mean a variety of things. Kind of like I've already said, that could be putting them on their own separate network or VLAN. It includes putting them in their own domain or work group so that your domain users cannot access those components with their accounts in case one of their accounts gets compromised. And something I see commonly forgotten in this is putting the Veeam components on their own hardware. This could mean a separate virtualization cluster or even bare metal Veeam components, but either way, you want to make sure that they're on their own hardware because we're increasingly seeing where malware is coming in and encrypting not at the VM level, but actually at the hypervisor level. And you run the risk of your Veeam VMs being corrupted on the data store, or even if your backups are being stored on data stores, your backups also being corrupted and encrypted. Another one we always get asked is, how can I ensure my data is properly encrypted? So first off, anytime that Veeam sends data out to the public internet, whether it be to S3 storage or a cloud provider or so on, all public internet traffic by default is encrypted in transit. This can also be configured through some network settings within your Veeam console to encrypt the traffic locally. And all of that can be encrypted with AES 256-bit encryption at rest on your repositories by going into your job settings and adding encryption to them. Equally so, you want to make sure that that encryption password is also set on a backup configuration job that you're writing. So if you ever do have to restore or migrate your Veeam server, all passwords and connections and configuration settings are migrated over. If your backup configuration is not encrypted, not all of that is going to be included in the backup, and it's going to cause you some pain. Finally, we get asked, how can I ensure my data is properly protected pretty commonly? So there's lots of ways you can go about that, but the best by far that you can do are to contact Veeam Cloud and service providers and Veeam accredited service partners such as CyberFortress, who can make sure you're following Veeam best practices, that you're leveraging the latest new features, and that you're following the Veeam 32110 rule properly, which we'll discuss more in episode 2. See you next time.
Geek out.